Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special podcast here at Chef Salty Pork. Here with us is two of the owners of Papo Js, Dave Osmena and Mike Borja. What's up, guys?
How are you?
Yeah, how you doing?
Did I butcher those names properly, or was that pretty okay?
It's Borja.
It's Borja.
Come on, man. You're Pinoy. You know that.
I'm sorry. Hindi
He got it.
ko na realize.
He got Osmena just perfect though. So,
I know.
yeah,
Perfect.
I did
Osmena was
Osmena.
yeah. So yeah.
No one
so
ever
Dave,
gets that right, man.
Yeah.
Where is
I'm used to being like it's Dave Osmena, Osmena. Yep, Osmena, and then spelled like 4 times. That's I gotta do that. Sure. Everybody, you guys know what that's all about. You're like, oh,
Borja?
M is in
Is
Mary,
that-
E is in Nancy, A, and then like, yep. That's
Is
it.
that
Yeah.
Bisaya Borja?
No, it's actually Tagalog. It's from
Okay.
it's actually Spanish. Let's call it what it is. Like every other Filipino name that's
Yeah.
out there, right? But my dad is from San Pablo, Laguna. But Stayan, that's on my mom's side. She's from Iloilo.
Oh, okay.
So she,
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so she's a Longo, yep.
Got it. My name is Gonzalez with a Z. So my dad was actual. He was Spaniard. He was like the white guy in the family. Everybody else was brown. My dad was the only white guy there.
So,
But,
the white guy part of you pronounced it Borgia, so you're okay.
Borja.
Yeah,
But it's Borja. Okay,
it's
I got
Borja,
it.
Yeah,
Borja. All right. I was gonna say
There's
Borja, but I didn't
there
want
is
to.
there
But we do have 4 names though.
town Borja in Spain.
there
Is
is
there
a
a town
Borja.
Borja? Sir?
There is a town Borja in Spain. It's
I'm
like
looking
in
this up right
the-
now.
like in the
Borja.
northeast. I think it's
Spain.
northwest of Barcelona.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, there you go. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
There you
Spain
go,
is
sir.
I'm there every day.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Kenya is like that is like who knows where that name came from? Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
It's all right. But okay, so I was mentioning to Dave a little earlier, Mike, that because he asked how your guys' drink tasted like. For me, I like vodka cold, so I stuck it in the
Right.
freezer. Literally, it's been there for like
Yeah.
a good day, just chilling. Popped it open the other day, took a sip. My immediate thought was moonshine. It's so smooth and it's so clear. You just I was like, what am I drinking? And I was like, it's smoother than Tito's, but it's definitely not Tito's. Then you get hit by that nice, warm, nutty coconut. So explain to me why Papo J's and why that name also, if you guys don't mind.
Papo Js.
Yeah.
The name is basically it was a placeholder all along. Papu is the name my family gives me. Like so everybody's got a nickname, and
Nickname.
mine's Papu. And then
Papu.
the J's came from and I figured we figured we would change it, but we never came up with another name, and then somehow it ended up on the bottle. And the
Got
J's
it.
are we've got Mike and I have another partner named Joda, and then Borja is like the J is pretty prominent, so it's actually Papu J's. It's not like Papu J apostrophe S. It's the J's, Papu J's, so 2 J's.
Got it, Papo
Yeah.
J's.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So it says here it's a small batch handcrafted spirit for nectar of coconut flowers. Explain to me, because I've never, I lived in the Philippines from till I was about 12, and then I moved over. So I didn't really fully get immersed in the full culture, but I still remember most of the dishes that I grew up with. I've never had the privilege of any of this. So tell me a little backstory on this coconut, because apparently it's been there for 500 years.
Yeah, I mean, and they started. Well, there's records of lambanog, lambanog being made in the Philippines way back to the 1400s. Now that's
wow.
right up. Yeah, that's right up there with Scotch. The first records of Scotch being made is also in the 1400s, and that is right about the time that they start spirits for for drinking. Before that, only thing that they saw spirits for was for medicinal uses. But now they're right there. They were, Lamanog, our Filipino culture is right up there with Scotch on as far as party people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the simplest processes for making spirits. It's made from the nectar from a coconut tree. They go and they climb up a coconut tree, and they'll shave off the flower. So they don't really use the coconut, not the nut itself, or the meat from the nut. They get the nectar from the flower. And if you ever go up there and get it, you'll see it's a very milky, sweet, great drink. You get that cold, and it's like a kid's drink. It's a great thing. And then if you drum it, let it sit for a couple of days, there's a sort of a natural process that makes the alcohol. There's no, they don't add yeasts like they do for beer or rum or vodka and any of that. It's just the natural yeasts in the nectar will start to make alcohol on its own.
Yeah.
And after a couple of days, that becomes, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's like tuba, like it's like a wine almost, like 15% alcohol. And then if you take that tuba, you distill it. You distill that one time, you get lambanog. You get that sort of clear, 40% alcohol spirit.
Mm-hmm. It is quite delicious.
I think you've tried it.
It is quite delicious. I'll tell you right now. I was just like, what? I tell you, I was like,
we love
what
it.
am I drinking?
There's so much. Somewhere, the flavors are somewhere between a vodka, maybe a rum, and definitely tequila in there.
Mm-hmm.
We love that because it's a super sustainable product. Coconut trees, they call them sort of the lazy man's tree. They don't require fertilizer. They don't require pesticides. They don't require herbicides. You just leave them alone, and they will produce. And they produce year round. It's not like you're growing a batch of corn or a batch of wheat, potatoes, where you plant, you let it grow for a while, and then you harvest. I mean, it's like coconut trees constantly are making product, and that's what we love about it. It's something that the Philippines can really put out, and it's something that I think we can share with the world with pride in that it's something that is that lets an economy grow. It's very local. Like most of the farms are small, medium-sized type situations where there's no big corporations involved. When we get nectar, it's like the guy down the road, and our distillery, is run by two women who learned how to distill from their mother, who learned how to distill from her father. It's just a very, very, I would say the word organic. It's just right there. It's like that, like down in the people.
Right. It doesn't get any more rustic than that. I mean, there's no machines. It's a guy that climbs up up the tree, and he makes his way across from tree to tree on a bamboo scaffolding, let's call it. And it doesn't produce very much of a carbon footprint. So like Dave said, it's sustainable and environmentally sound.
Well, some of the best foods are actually in street foods. So no matter where in the world you are, chefs will always pride, I was in Thailand, I saw this grilled duck feet or something. And it's off the streets. It's just what people are cooking on a regular basis, and then they kind of take it back here, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. But that's how we all kind of come up with this stuff. But anything of that greatness will always be great. So, like I mentioned, it reminded me of moonshine so much. My wife and I actually drink this moonshine that's got coconut flavor to it. It doesn't even compare to it. It's just like, you know what? We're not buying that anymore.
That was probably moonshine with coconut infused
coconut flavor
into it, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't compare.
I'm telling you,
not at all.
It's like you hit it and it's just like, oh my goodness, it is so smooth. And I took like a 4-ounce shot. Well, no, that's a shot to me.
Good for you.
That's a shot to me.
The expectations that we kind of have to manage is more of people see that in coconut, they start to think, oh, this is a Malibu. This is sort of a liqueur that's got a coconut flavor to it. Yeah. It's zero like that. It is just a nice, bright, clean, clear spirit, and you get the hint of the distillate in there, like a hint from it that sweetens it up, so it doesn't knock you on your butt.
Mm-hmm.
when you,
No, it's great. So so I'm actually on your website right now, papojs.com at the home, and there's a whole slew of things in here, but you can definitely buy this product all straight from you guys. However, the ones that really piqued my interest though is your cocktails. So let's talk about some of these if you guys don't mind. What is your Paparoni? That this is just like what a great marketing name right there altogether.
yeah, that sweet vermouth. Was a Campari sweet vermouth. It's just a simple drink. You know, it's one of the classics. I think Campari. It's just sort of it's a Negroni, really.
Yep.
That we thought the Papo Js worked really, really well in that sort of that with all those little bits of flavor in there.
It just
That's the
sounds
one
so
we
delicious.
played with a lot. One of the first drinks really I started doing, and it's a simple one. You know, it's a good. I don't know, like you know, if you're in a fancy sort of bar situation, that works really well. Kind of like that late night drink, you know.
Okay.
And we've been playing a lot with sort of a lot of coffees because we know like there's a lot of Filipino coffees coming out now, and we've just been infusing with Papo J straight with coffee, like doing like cold brews instead of using water to make a cold brew. We've been doing Papo J's and like a nice good dark roast and letting that infuse.
Wow.
And using that to and then you drink that with a little bit of coconut water and a frozen coconut water ice cube, and that's becoming sort of like a superpower. People are starting to really use that because you look at a nice frozen coconut water it gets colder than water itself, and as it melts down into the cocktail, it doesn't take away from the cocktail like an ice cube will just dilute a cocktail.
Yeah.
That
just
frozen
add to
coconut
it.
water just adds a nice sort of nuttiness. Yeah, nice, added a little bit of nuttiness and a little bit of sweetness, and it works super good. You know,
We need to get
we've been playing a lot with.
we need to get our hands on some Barako coffee. You know, coffee straight for the
Ooh.
Philippines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need to get some of that and make it, do that with the coffee drink that you've got, Dave. So
Oh, absolutely.
we got to get our hands on
typically-
some
No, I
Barako.
have been sort of playing with having getting stuff shipped over whenever people
Yeah.
visit or go to visit from the Philippines or go to the Philippines and come back. I have them bring me some coffee, and we sort of been playing with those those different flavors, and it's been a lot of fun. That
You can't.
and the coconut water, been
You're
great.
not able to get them on like an Balikbayan box or something like that.
You know,
Have them send it over here.
Yeah.
Lost
Well,
do stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, usually my parents go once a year. They're retired physicians. They usually do a medical mission
Okay.
every year, and they pick a small town in the Philippines, in the provinces, and they do free surgeries, free checkups, free, like surgeries like cataracts. They'll do that
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
free for the people in the Philippines. And usually when he goes back, he brings back some Barako, but this time around he because of COVID wasn't able to go to the Philippines this year. So
Yeah, it's a little tough right now to travel, but it's
Yeah.
nonetheless it's okay. I think you guys will do it. Usually, I was gonna say you would drink the coffee to kind of wake you up, but let's just punch him out with one more, a couple more ounces of liquor right in the face while we're at it.
But it's also,
However,
it's
I do want
fun
to.
to play with the flavors here in the U.S. We're doing a
Oh,
lot
definitely.
of like watermelon, like a pureed watermelon run through a strainer, and some ginger ale and limes. That made that's been my summer drink. I've been doing that all summer long and sharing it with some folks, and especially I'm not sure what it's like there in New York, but it is hot right now. And
Yeah.
we have been pouring that all week.
Yeah.
And we've been having a lot of
That's
fun
all you
with that.
need.
exactly.
Yeah,
And Casey,
exactly.
what I do is like you, I put it in the freezer. I
Yeah.
take Papa J's, I put it in the freezer, and my wife and I, on the weekends, we pull out the frozen Papa J's and get some orange juice, and that's the drink. That's the drink
Yeah.
for the morning.
That's
And then,
it literally
in
is
the
a great
afternoon,
drink.
and then in the afternoon, you take out that same frozen bottle if you haven't finished it yet, and you put lemonade in that. So that becomes the afternoon drink in the middle of the day.
Got
So
it.
very
I see
simple.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I had a thought because at the restaurant we do quite a few of coconut dishes. As of right now, the more popular one because we're running it currently, popcorn shrimp, or not necessarily popcorn shrimp, but coconut shrimp, like the 1620 shrimp. You flatten it, you batter it with coconut on top. I think one of those drinks would be just stellar with that dish all together. But I had an idea too, though, because I think, like I mentioned in an email, I believe to Dave, the way I eat is the way I feel. So I don't really care for whatever drinks is on the menu or whatever kind of food. It's like when I see it, I'll know what I want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Your drink, I think, that's just how my brain would. Just a simple whatever it is, your drink plus simple syrup, but cake the top of the rim of your glass with toasted coconut. I just need a little bit more texture, because like I think that's just how my brain works. I would really dig a texture without having to do like sugar or salt or whatever, that little commonplace. But I want something to like bite into.
Would you grind up the, because coconut typically comes in like the flakes or like the longer. Would you grind it up even further
into a powder? Yes, I would definitely. And then toast it, not so much that it's overly brown, but just slightly hum of golden. So maybe 2 minutes.
Up again.
Right.
That's okay. Like 2 minutes in the oven at 300 for coconut flakes to just ever so slightly brown. Pulse that into whatever you're using. Dip your top of your drink, and I think that'll give you a happy day. I mean, at least I'm gonna try that at my restaurant actually when I go back to work in a couple days, and let you guys know. And also give my.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Do you do?
No, please.
Do you do desserts too as well? Casey?
We do desserts.
Do you do so? My wife made a cassava this past weekend, and I think the next time we make cassava, I think we're gonna try to put a little Papo Js in there, because you can put the cassava, and then you can put strings of the macapuno, right? Put that in there. And then maybe put a shot or two, depending on how much alcohol you want to put into it, and put that into the cassava cake. So if you make cassava, I think that would be something you could experiment with. And her aunt this weekend made a rum cake.
Oh,
so
there you go, perfect for it.
It'd be
just like a
the
bundt sucker.
Cake. Yeah, just douse it. So it was just like it was basic bundt cake, and she just doused it with rum, but. Think maybe experiment with Papo Js and see what that tastes like.
No, definitely.
Probably
I think,
put some coconut
I've been doing a lot
of that.
I've been doing a lot of
go for it, Dave.
Of,
there you
pie crusts. Yeah.
Okay, pie crust. I got
Can you hear me now?
crust. Yeah, you're good.
No, I've been doing a lot of pie crusts with it, and then sort of playing it with like on my fried chickens, and I thought when you said your popcorn shrimp. Using a little Papo Js in the batter with like the mixing of some coconut flour as well.
Absolutely.
And that sort of it really puffs out the batter. So no, that's been a lot of fun.
What about buko pie? And the crust of the buko pie would be good.
I mean, like I said, anything texture wise, I'm so for it. But my first initial thought for an actual dessert with this is flan. Just straight coconut flan, toasted coconut underneath to give it a little crunch, with a carameled coconut syrup to top it off, and then infuse the thing with Papo Js, and I think that would just give it so delicious. And then actually get like shaved coconuts and spear the sucker, and I think that would be a pretty good display presentation in my restaurant. But that would be, I don't know, $18 for a 5-ounce little.
Oh, absolutely.
Flan? Yeah, easy.
$18.99. Push it.
$18.99. You know what? Let's give it extra.
Have you ever tried doing like Dave and I, when we were before COVID hit, we would be hitting up all the local Filipino restaurants and trying to get our liquor in there. And one of the restaurants we went to here in LA, they had an ube flan. Remember that,
yeah.
Dave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm all
amazing.
about
And
ube.
of course, we'd go there. You know, of course, we're there to try to sell our liquor, but
Of
we'd go
course.
there for the flan too as well. And was it you that brought home flan, but it didn't make it home, Dave? Was that you?
No. Well,
What does that mean?
I mean, like I ate
does
it
that mean?
before I got home. Yeah, it didn't go
Well,
bad.
yeah.
It didn't go bad. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was you.
I think.
Like, yeah, I'm supposed to share it with my girl, but I didn't. Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything ube too, but that's a different subject altogether. However, I do
Yep.
want to ask you guys some questions if you guys don't mind. Let's
Sure.
take a little journey into our roots per se, right? So I'll give you a dish. Let's see what you guys can compare it with some Papo Js, coconut, whatever kind of mixture you guys do. However, let's stick with classics. So the first dish, it's my all-time favorite, sinigang.
Ooh.
What can we tackle a sour soup to partner with a delicious, refreshing coconut drink? What do you think, Mike?
Wow, it's something like that. I'd almost go old school classic and just get the Papo J's, some ice, and some maybe Pellegrino and a squeeze of calamansi.
Oh,
'Cause
calamansi. Okay.
you've got the calamansi already there for the sinigang, right? So
Mhm.
you got the calamansi there for the drink. I mean, you kind of have that for refreshing drink. It's very simple with the sour, and I think that would be fantastic and nice. And I think as Asians, I think some people look at us like, you guys have hot soup in the summer. I mean, come on. But that's
They
what
don't
we do.
understand it.
We like hot soup in the summer. So you have a little bit of sinigang, which I'll have to try yours, Casey. But my dad touts that he's got the best sinigang, which
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to. Yeah, he does it really well. So I'm gonna have to ask him to try that. Just it's very simple, just some frozen Papa J's, some Pellegrino, and a little squeeze of calamansi.
Yeah.
I
I'll
think it
definitely
would
share you
pair
guys my
really-
recipe.
Pair really nice with the sinigang.
I'll show you guys my recipe after it. I don't tout it as the best. I've had better.
Yeah.
But this is what I always go to if I were making sinigang. So I'll make sure to share the recipe. But how about you, Dave? I'm going to ask you a question. What would you pair your Papo J's with lechon? Or lechon kawali?
Oh man,
Ooh.
that's the tuna I made myself out here in the backyard. So I just that. I had a different drink for the previous meal, but for
Okay.
lechon, I mean that is just classic coconut water and Papo J's equal parts. Maybe a lime, maybe calamansi. That is it. And I don't even know if I would put it on ice. I would just go
Just straight.
room temperature.
Okay.
And then because it would let the garlic and of the lechon really come through on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the you want to keep it clean. Like that Papo J's has that sort of very fresh, sunny flavor.
Okay.
And I think that works just alone with lechon like that.
Yeah.
When you get like a nice, like oily, heavy meat, you just go clean Papo J's on that, and that's it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is out of turn, Casey, but
Go for it.
what about like our peepog, with the
Sure,
lechon?
peepog.
Yeah,
Let's
which
see,
is
let's check it
the pineapple, the guava.
Ooh, okay. So
Kind of
whenever-
go a little tropical, a little tiki, a little bit.
Got it. Immediately when I hear pineapple and coconut, grilled chicken. No matter what, hands down, I will do grilled chicken. But in our style though, adobo grilled chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So same preparation, you marinate and all that, you grill it, and I would have a happy day with that. And for everybody interested, their peepog recipe is 1 part Papo J's, 2 parts pineapple, and 1 part guava. It's all on their website. I'll make sure to shout you guys out because I have the, you can't see it, but I have like 3 monitor screens, so I'm like reading your recipes here at the same time. Okay,
Yeah,
one
right
more
there
dish.
yeah, go ahead.
One more dish for you, Dave. How about let's do, this is not really, okay. It's not it's kind of a sweet on sweet. But how would you tackle turon? Turon is
Oh.
which is our fried banana
Yep.
dessert. How would you tackle that with our Papo Js?
I go multicultural, I think, with that. Like
Okay.
I would go. I've been playing with a little bit of like Thai chilies, lemongrass. Blend that up, and then add Papo Js and make that cold, cold, cold. I think
Ooh.
that would work well like that. So it's like it's like a almost like a tom kha kai soup,
Mm.
and I think that would work well with something like that. Like a lot of flavors right there. It's almost like a side dish.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it'll be like a side
Would
dish,
that be
exactly.
Yeah, it works. So, yeah, it'd be really cool. Yeah.
I'd
Man.
almost
Kind of-
like
kind of
I would almost like the Papo and coffee that you make, Dave, with the Tron. I think it'd be like a nice like after having a heavy Filipino meal, you get the fried banana and you go, of course you got the sugar on both
Of
sides
course,
of that
yeah.
thing. And then you have a nice little, it's a heavy meal. You're gonna need a little pick me up. So a little Papo and coffee, man. A little Papo and iced
Yeah.
coffee with that.
Like I said, I like drinking things that are cold. The only thing that I'll probably drink room temp is beer or whiskey or
Mhm.
bourbon. Like that's okay. We can all like my wife and I are big brown liquors here at the house. But like I said, we don't do too much of the white stuff, but this is definitely on the shelves now. And there's a whole Filipino community here in Bergenfield, New Jersey, pretty much populated in Jersey City.
Oh yeah.
Guarantee you, if I can get one of these into 3 of my buddies' hands, this will blow up. So I'm like, that's why I'm so for it, and it sounds just so good, and it's just so smooth. This is the first thing I keep thinking. It's so smooth to your lips, and it's easy to drink, and it's kind of dangerous because it's so smooth. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, you get in about 2 drinks in, you're still like, I'm still not feeling it. But then
No.
you get to 3 and 4, you're like, and maybe you're sitting down that whole time while you're drinking those first 2, and then when you get up,
Yeah. It's gonna mess you up.
It's gonna mess you up. Yeah. And yeah, where you live, Casey, in that Bergenfield, I mean, there's that Jersey City, there's a ton of Filipinos there.
Ton.
That's
ton.
where
And I
that's
guarantee
where
you
my
they never heard of
aunts
this.
live. Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've got aunts that live. They used to live there in like the Teaneck area, Inglewood
Mm.
Cliffs area. My sister went to school at Seton Hall over there in the Oranges.
Oh
so
wow. Just right there.
it's a huge Filipino community, and us being on the West Coast, we're at a disadvantage geographically. But if we've got people like you that can promote and get the word out, it's only better for everybody.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm with the higher up Filipinos, I call it. We have I'm partners with a lot of, well, not partners, but I know
Mhm.
friends in a lot of hotels, like Renaissance, the Marriott, the Hilton. I know they're exec chefs. We all talk
Right.
together. So I'll guarantee you the next meeting, I'll just slip them. It's like, just try this. Just down it. And they'll be like, oh my
What?
God. I was like, yeah, I know.
One of our
Bam.
biggest fans of Papo Js, believe it or not, if you want to have a super fan when it comes to Papo Js, she lives in New Jersey with
Okay.
2 of her sisters, and she's a Filipina. And Dave knows her. Her name's Victoria Garcia.
Mhm.
And any moment, any time, or any opportunity she can post her concoctions of Papo Js, she
Mhm.
posts it on Twitter.
Hey,
And she
shout out.
tags Joe Coy. So it was like, well, sure, why not?
Hey, there you go. If you can get him on board, hey,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all it is to it, man.
Yeah,
I've seen that guy live a couple of times too. He's pretty freaking hilarious.
yeah.
Okay, let's go through a bit of quickly. Let's go through a bit of like a quick fire questionnaire. Okay, I always ask this towards the end of the interview. So let's go with Mike. What do you absolutely refuse to eat?
That would be balut.
What?
Yep.
Did
Now,
you?
I can't
okay.
say it absolutely refuse it because
Sacrilegious.
I have eaten it, and it has taken me at least 3 or 4 San Miguel's in before I eat it. So it's not that I absolutely refuse. I'll absolutely refuse before having any alcohol. But if I'm 3 or 4 San Miguel's in,
You're just like, let's go.
or two Red Bulls in, or one Papa J's in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one Papa J.
So that's the grade. You got San Miguel, it takes 4. You got Red Bulls, it takes 2, and it only takes 1 Papa J's drink for me to get into.
Okay. For everybody listening in right now, Mike is not Filipino. He's a sellout. How dare you say you don't eat balut? How dare you? Dave, to you, the most disgusting thing you've ever eaten.
I don't know. I don't eat. I will eat probably anything. I've eaten like worms.
Okay, me too.
I would say disgusting. Like when I was a kid, that I did grossed out by stuff, but now put it on a plate, I'll try it. But I don't know that anything I've encountered anything that's just killed me.
Okay.
So I would
fair.
say probably like I've eaten ants, I've eaten worms. I've eaten a lot of slimy things. But I wouldn't say that I wouldn't call them disgusting.
Okay.
There have been maybe like some would
A
say
little
maybe a little
off.
fear factor, but it's always like, okay, that was
all right.
that, and I had a good time. Yeah.
Actually, did you guys know that Fear Factor's menu was 90% Filipino? Did you guys know this?
I remember they ate balut one time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other, but balut was the one that I remembered from the show. That people had issues eating that. So.
Well, it's just because they're weird.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
I remember serving a guy, like I was in the Philippines with some friends that were from New York, yeah. And one guy was looking at lychee nuts.
Wow.
He was freaking out, and I was like, just try it. And he described that as a Fear Factor meal. I'm like, it's a
Really?
fruit. I mean, how
Yeah. A fruit.
Well,
it's a fruit.
to some
I mean, it's
people,
not-
to some people, just by looking at it, they get grossed out. But
Yeah.
it's definitely not. Okay, let's throw it back to you, Mike. Let's do ever eaten any weird proteins or weird things?
I think the weirdest thing that I've ever eaten was probably guinea pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some chewy.
Yeah, we had some, and well, that was the same trip that Dave and I were on. This would have been 16 years ago now. We were there for the third partner in Papo Js. He got married in Peru. His wife is
Nice.
Peruvian. So we all hung out together, and I think this was in Cusco. We all had guinea pig for dinner.
Hey.
We had
some
It's
chewy.
delicious. And heart, yeah, beef heart,
We had,
beef
like,
heart.
beef hearts, yeah.
Beef heart was good. That was delicious. That was
Beef heart is good.
prepared. It was grilled. The way they prepared it on skewers. It was delicious.
No, that's all you need. Dave, to you or to both of you, actually, any allergies to food? No.
I don't
no
have
allergies.
any. No allergies
That you know of.
that I know of. Yep, I don't have any. My family
Wow.
has some of my family members have allergies to shellfish
Okay.
and peanut butter. But I could not imagine my life being allergic to shellfish because I love shrimp and lobster too much.
And Dave, no allergies for you also?
I
Wow.
haven't had any issues. Not, medications, but not food.
I used to be allergic to mangoes when I was a child,
What?
but then I grew up and grew out of that pretty quick.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
God.
In the
out
Philippines,
of
like
it.
when I ate so many mangoes at one point that I got a rash on my arms.
Mm.
But that was
From
it.
eating
I think
mangoes?
I've seen, from eating mangoes. I ate a lot of mangoes, and then I ended up with a rash on my arms. But other than that, I still go back and eat a lot of mangoes, and I'll take that rash every time.
I think the story for me was that I had mangoes here and I was allergic to it, and then I went back to the Philippines and had mangoes,
And you were fine.
and I was fine, and then came back and totally immune to it after that.
Well, you know what it is
Yeah.
too. Our body systems, after a while, it does switch to a different to a different thing. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you're allergic to something, a little later on in life, or maybe earlier on, it will switch off and on. So maybe you
Yeah.
won't be in a while. Currently, I am allergic to chocolate. I cannot eat it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So is my brother.
Oh.
We have a
Yeah.
my brother will go into shock if he gets too much chocolate. I will
Really?
break the hell out and get rashes everywhere, so I can't have chocolate.
Yeah.
So those are the two things. Every time I do say that, same reaction. They're like, "Ooh, chocolate."
Yeah.
I don't miss it. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, actually,
okay.
I do. Casey, I do have a little bit of an allergy now that I've developed over the last couple of years to peaches.
Peaches.
Peaches and apricots, because they're kind of the same family.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if I bite into that, I get the roof of my mouth starts to get itchy, and that's only happened in the last maybe 2 or 3 years. So I
Try
really don't
boiling
eat-
it.
Yeah. You boil
Yeah,
it first.
It's the protein outside the skin that's maybe irritating you half the time. So try
Really?
boiling it. You might get a different reaction. Different.
That would make sense because I can eat like peach cobbler and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Eat all that stuff.
See,
Okay.
you're learning. I know. I got
Learning.
info for you.
Yeah.
I got
All
info
right.
for you.
There you go.
Dave, for you, favorite food and how do you prepare it?
I am a simple person. Like I love a good ribeye steak. Simple, like that is cast iron, here and then in the oven for a little bit, and I pull that out.
Call it a day.
That is
Got it.
I like all my meals are super simple. Like even when I bake, it looks like a rustic kind of like put together, and that's how I love it. Nothing fancy in what I do, except cocktails. I'll play around with cocktails, but meals.
All right.
I love simple meals, like
Just simple. Hey,
a simple steak.
Nothing
like a
wrong with it.
lechon. Like how simple is a lechon? I mean, it takes a long time,
is
but
true.
it's pretty simple, right there, right? You keep
That
the whole
is
pig
true.
together, and then you spin it up. That's it. I love that.
that is definitely true. How about you,
Yeah.
Mike? What is your favorite meal and how do you prepare it?
Man, I go through several favorite meals during the week. But one of the things I love to do that's quick and easy, and my kids love noodles, right? So
Okay.
and they're home right now with distance learning here in California. So one of the things that I do, and I did this in college, and this sounds so basic, but I take a cup of noodle, right?
Okay.
Your basic cup of noodle, put the hot water in there, let it sit there for 3 minutes. I take the noodle out and I fry it. I stir fry
Hey.
that thing.
There
Add
you
a little soy sauce, sesame oil, some pepper, and then I add, for the kids, some frozen peas and corn in there.
There you
And
go.
then whatever protein I've got hanging out, if I ate bacon that morning, boom, slice up the bacon, that protein goes right in there. So it's like it's like the Hawaiian fried Simon noodle. So if I got a fish cake laying around, slice up some fish cake and put
There you
that
go.
in there, and then it's really simple to prepare.
That's
but
all you
to
need,
me,
man.
it's comfort food for me.
Oh, it definitely is. So you were talking pancit canton from our dishes. Same exact thing.
Yeah,
A fried noodle dish.
exactly.
Which definitely will be in my menu soon. And then finally, the last question for the both of you guys. Ever eaten Spam?
Come on. Yeah. Jeez, is the Pope
I just
Catholic.
I gotta check.
Yeah.
I just gotta check.
So
I gotta check. We all eat Spam here.
Last week, my wife, again, one of those simple meals you got to make for the kids. It's that we got to do quick. Is spam musubi. So we bought one of those
that's it.
spam musubi makers when we were in Hawaii about 5 or 6 years ago. Basically, it's a plastic rectangle with a press on top. Get some seaweed, slice up the spam, throw a little teriyaki in there, put it in the spam
That's
maker, and spam musubi, you're done. So
Oh,
the
It's
answer
a-
is
it's a
yes to
good-
that.
Spam all the way. Spam sandwich we make here at my house quite often. My wife doesn't eat Spam. I'm still trying to convert her soon, but for now she
What?
cannot take. It's the texture. She says it's too boogery. It's because it's just pressed. It's just pressed meat, so she can't do it. But eventually she will. Once her palate changes a little
Right.
bit, we'll try again in 7 years. That's what I say. It's like it's fine. You'll like it eventually.
The history spams that it was a sea ration, right, for the soldiers during World
Yes.
War II.
So World War II, they needed to get protein out to the troops without it spoiling quicker. So they found a way, the same way as you cure meats, you put the pink salt in it. That's what makes that thing pink, and it lasts like 2 years in that stupid can, and then that's it. Spam was born. Amazing. From little end drippings, they just send it out overseas. Obviously, it resonated more with us because that was like, it's like, wow, this is amazing. Pork in a can, yes, why not?
Yeah.
Doesn't go bad,
day long.
absolutely. Fry it up with
Sort of
rice,
the-
egg on top of it.
It's sort of the food of liberation, man. That's
Yep.
right there.
Yeah.
Freedom. Yeah. So
Correct.
it's definitely a different association. But I'm a big fan of the musubi. That's what I do too. And,
Mhm.
So good. Hey, and it's
all
actually
about
good with the fried ramen too, as well. If you got some of that, because we don't use the whole can. You always, for
Yeah.
some reason, you have like this much left in the can, right? So you take that out, slice that up into cubes, and you throw that in the
That's it.
noodles. So, boom.
That
you're
is
and
it.
I'm always impressed with how little fat comes out of it. Right when you fry that
Yeah.
up,
Correct.
not a lot of fat. I mean, I get,
No?
and it's a
It's a well product. I'm telling you right now, it's a
Yeah, no,
well
it-
product.
That's a yep. And there's spam light. If you're still conscious about it, they make spam light, which to me
Don't.
doesn't
Are they?
make sense.
No,
That's
Don't do
just
it.
sacrilege at that point.
sacrilegious.
paying
on
for
that.
this podcast right now.
I condone them so much. It's not even funny. I ask everybody. Now I'll be spamming Papo Js all day.
Yeah, Papo Js.
Because I ask people, it's like, have you ever eaten spam? They're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, you know what? You're missing out.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
I think they're based in Minnesota, right? I think they're a
I'm
Minnesota.
not sure.
I think
Could
they're a
probably look it
Minnesota
up.
company.
Yeah,
If I remember
maybe.
correctly. If I remember.
But it
correctly.
definitely
Yeah,
originated from
Yeah,
here.
right now.
Came up to the States. But like I mentioned, as we close though, Papo J's vodka drinks so smooth it'll make Tito's run for its money. Take it from me, like literally, it was my first thought was it's so smooth, and dangerous at the same time. That should be like your slogan on the bottom.
Yes.
And then in the next coming weeks, I'm actually gonna make that flan version for you guys. So and I'm gonna tag you guys on social so we make sure that we're all together on it.
Excellent. Excellent.
But we are here to share the love of our country to everybody else, and this is a really great product to do so. I don't think there's any other product that's like it besides Jollibee. That is that is culturally Filipino, and thank you guys for reaching out. I've never actually heard of it, so for me this is an experience altogether, and one that I will definitely remember for the rest of my time, and it's quite great. Like I mentioned, I was raised in the Philippines. I left when I was 12, so the dishes are the most common ones that I remember, but I didn't get the pleasure to fully enjoy what the Philippines was to offer. I was born in Manila too, so everything from that central location. But definitely grilled chicken feet will be close to my heart. And then grilled hearts and livers also, because that's so Philippines. And then into the vinegar with the peppers is can't go with it. Before we do,
I wonder if you
Go
could
for it,
put
go.
Papa J's in like bibingka.
of course you can, or
Yeah.
emputo. Yeah, absolutely.
I think you should
You
try
can-
that.
Actually, one of my chefs is Filipino, so I'll converse with him. I was like, yo, let's make bibingka this one time with this.
Yeah.
And let's see how that comes out. And I'm pretty sure he'll be ecstatic with that all together. But if you guys don't mind, can you give me a little shout out for you guys' company, all your socials, anywhere they can find you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Dave. Do you want to start first?
Yeah, well, we're Papo J's Spirits on Instagram, Papo J's Lamanug on Facebook. What I do want to say is, go to papojs.com, hit buy now. It'll take you to a place called Holiday Wine Cellars, and you go papojs-ship. You'll get free shipping. So,
Ooh.
please hit that up for you guys there.
No, I think we're New Jersey. We do ship to New Jersey because Victoria Garcia lives in New Jersey, so, and she's even gone to the point that if there are any issues with shipping, she has no problem calling the store. So they know her very well. So
Shout out to Victoria.
yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
she's a big proponent of us, has been a big supporter of us from the beginning, and she's really all about the Pinoy and Pinoy pride. So
Yeah, definitely. If you run
shout out to
into
her.
if you're running into issues with shipping, feel free to hit us up, DM us on Insta or wherever you want, and or through the website, and we'll make it work. We'll figure out a way to get some Papo Js to your state. I mean, we're talking about the U.S. right now, obviously.
Yeah.
Definitely hit us up if you got issues with shipping. There's some links to get emails to us through Papo Js, and we'll make it right.
There you go. I was mentioning to Dave earlier. We're gonna try to make Tito's run its money dry, because this is a smoother combatant to it. So screw your Tito's. Try a bottle of Papo J's. It really does kiss you with a really warm note of coconut, and it goes in smooth. So that's, again, papojs.com. Everything, all in the links and all the recipes that we talked about, I'll make sure to drop it in the link in the description below. I want to thank Dave Osmena and Michael Borja.
There you go.
For joining me today. Thank you for spending me a little bit of your time on your busy day. But definitely look out for some spike in sales. This is going to go out to my compadres here. And we're all, because we're a tight-knit family anyway. There's only a small community of us. So once heard of this, it's gonna populate it. And here in Jersey, they're really mouthy. I don't know about the Filipinos and West Coast, but over here, everybody's so aggressive. So this is just gonna float out pretty fast, which is just amazing altogether. But available at Adam's Bottle Boutique. Now I'm obviously listing West Coast stores here: Pagan Tavern, Chez Melange, Angeles National Golf Club, Barkeeper, Hilo, Mamster Los Angeles, Barn Garden, Raging Cajun Cafe, and Reunions, all over in California. So shout out to you guys. Thank you again for coming into the podcast. And then other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and have a good one.
Thank you, everybody.